Joy is an act of resistance. It's not the magical one-time low-cost fast-acting pill to wipe away all your worries, but as we build towards a better future, don't discount its power. You ever try and move a wet blanket? No one wants to touch it, so more often than not, it stays right where it is. Somewhere along the line, we got this idea that seriousness and silliness are opposite ends of the spectrum. But to me, they go together. You want to sell an image of a better future? Show us you know what better looks like. Show me there's greener pastures on the other side of righteous anger. People need a why. Why should I trust you to build our new reality? If you really want to change a world in desperate need of it, don't overlook the power of joy. It's why we sing at protests. Art, music, dancing, laughter, hell, even memes are vital tools in any attempt to change the way things are, because they bring people in, and that's what politics is at its core, community building. Reality brings people to the line, but joy invites them over. You can and you should use harsh truths and sadness and anger and grief, but it takes more than one tool to build a house worth living in. And I'd argue this generation sometimes lets this one gather dust in the arsenal. In a world that needs a bit of reordering, let's not forget just how potent joy is as an act of resistance. Active joy, a joy that acknowledges the darkness but chooses the light. Not naive to the world, but building towards a brighter path in spite of it, even laughing in the face of it. It's rebellious to be happy in a world that gives you little opportunity to be. And when you build a community that prioritizes joy, you might just find your world begin to grow. Because joy attracts, and we can't get there alone. I want to say this at the outset. What I'm talking about is one piece of the puzzle. I'm not naive to think that joy alone will change the world. This isn't where 10 shiny, happy people with permanent smiles welcome you back to the compound. It's about building moments for small joy, not building B-roll for a Netflix documentary. I just think that joy is underutilized, and I want to take a moment to check back in on it as we push towards a better future, especially within the framework of activism and people pushing for necessary change. Humor and laughter and silliness aimed at power can shake up what we think is unmovable. Singing and dancing and free expression can make us feel liberated together, sharing weight amongst a collective power. Doom and despair only isolate. It's too late, there's no point, why bother? You know what that does? Keeps things the way they are. You scroll and you scroll and you scroll towards infinity, and your capacity to imagine any of this getting better dwindles. I think right now we're at a now what stage. We're standing on the precipice, and I just want to pop up and say remember what you're fighting for. In order to get where we want to go, towards any better future, we have to show a glimpse of what we have in mind. No matter how right you are, if people can't see themselves happier in a better reality under your watch, your movement's building on shaky ground. There's a reason music is always at the center of social movements. Labor songs channel anger into solidarity across generations, and that solidarity can bring us a deep sense of joy. I'd argue it's one of the bigger things the hippie movement got right. I'm not talking about the 9-to-5 trust fund hippies out there raising rent on low-income families while listening to the Grateful Dead on Sirius XM. I'm talking about the ones who channeled their anger at the world into love, because they knew it was a direct threat to the fear the other side was purposefully stoking. Look at the loneliness epidemic. People without a place to go are susceptible to the whispers from dark corners of our world promising any sense of connection. Unaddressed loneliness leads to anger. Fractured, angry people are easier to divide, whereas joy joins us together, psychologically brings us closer. Pervasive loneliness is a reality, so we can see it as a threat, a thing to ignore, or as an opportunity to invite others in, to create a joy that helps people see a way through loneliness, a joy that creates the kind of party people want to be at. Pride parades are a success story of how joy changes perceptions and can be used within a political push. Normalizing joy, normalizing love. If people need community, foster movements that prioritize it in their politics. And look, sometimes it means using joy in boring ways. For example, you can push joy into urban design. You can push your local government to consider how it builds out third spaces and prioritizes parks. And one day, that boring infrastructure project will be the place that friends gather and community grows. And you've chipped away at an environmental type of loneliness. The tactics and expression of joy are yours to do what you want with. It even makes its way over to memes. Memes are now legitimate political tools. Major candidates try and bend them to their will. In 2020, Bloomberg dumped a barrel full of money on meme accounts. Its inauthenticity largely backfired, but it's an acknowledgement from the highest level that how we utilize joy is relevant. Humor and joy are legitimate tools in our structuring of power. The left claims that the right can't meme, and the right claims that the left can't either. Not all humor is political, but it's naive to pretend that it's not a part of it. Hell, a lot of people get their news from memes, not even realizing the joke's already baked in bias. And satire has poked at power since the dawn of the court gesture. There's a reason a lot of politically motivated comedians will try and demonize groups by effectively labeling them as humorless. If you can convince people a certain cause is full of killjoys, no one's going to seek it out. If cyclists suck, who needs a bike lane? Which is why prioritizing joy, getting ahead of that, and seeing it as an important part of the fabric of any attempt towards progress is worth a closer look. A knee-jerk reaction here might be assuming I'm dismissing legitimate outrage and saying to stick a smiley face over it and get on with it. I understand that, but don't think I don't feel angered, depressed, defeated by our trajectory most days. This is aspirational, if anything. But waking up to the reality around you, that's just the first step. Awareness is the starting point, not the final goal. I know joy won't always work. You shouldn't giggle at an oncoming bullet. Laughter won't stop a bomb from falling. I'm just reminding us to make some space for it. You can pair it with other strategies the moments call for. Sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's grief, sometimes it's logic, and sometimes it's love and a reason to smile. I'm looking for expanding the emotions used and making a case to not overlook this one. And when you get past awareness and you get to the now what, you realize you have to build an image of where you want to go. To do so means an active, conscious choice to bring light into the world. It's Waymond and everything everywhere all at once. It's believing small moments snowball. I believe in that, and even if I fall short most days, I hope when my time comes, I'm seen as somebody who tried. Cynicism is easy. Creating environments that make joy accessible is hard. Cynicism is a natural reaction to pain. I fully understand where it comes from and how people end up here, but despair keeps us standing still. And while suffering is guaranteed, our reactions aren't. It's okay to feel what you feel, but then see if you're able to transform it. And honestly, this video is aimed at the man in the mirror as much as it is for you. My favorite type of people are those zany type of old wise folk, the ones who aged with their joy intact, not through ignorance, but by choice. The ones who love their laugh lines because they've known dark days. It's a goofy old professor, the laughing Buddha, a harmless prankster, someone who embodies an existence with their soul intact. It's who I aspire to be. I think serious matters can coexist with joy. In fact, I think they have to. To me, it's where true wisdom lies. You can find serious lessons in the silliest corners of culture, just as consequential moments and movements can possess joy without one lessening the other. I can't change the world, but I can make a stranger smile, and maybe that's where it starts. I can't change the world, but I can make my friends laugh. I can find art worthwhile. I can seek out silliness, cherish absurdity, and sing even if I don't know how. I can't change the world, but if you take a moment multiplied by hundreds of millions of people over a day, over a year, over a life, maybe we all can. Joy is an active choice to believe in a better future, whether feeling it, creating it, or seeking it out. It's proof that there's a better way than we know now. Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Harper. This is Niche Nonsense. Have a great day.